Okay, so I am doing my current event video presentation on this happened in the past week. A church in Georgia is facing expulsion from the SBC, the Southern Baptist Convention, for allowing gay members. So the pastor was a guy named Jim Conrad, and the church is Townview Baptist Church. And he allowed a same sex couple with 3 adopted children to join the congregation. And because of that, the Southern Baptist Convention is potentially going to expel his church from their membership. So this was the article. It's from the Washington Examiner, but a number of other news sources reported on this as well. The Southern Baptist denomination is the largest Protestant denomination in the United States, and then the Southern Baptist Convention is their largest sort of unifying network. So that's just important to keep in mind when you think about the scale of this and why people are reporting on it. So this was a quote that he shared. I actually have it here. I thought it was pretty telling. It is, the problem the SBC is facing right now is this. In order to work with them, you've got to be in lockstep agreement with them on every point. 9 out of 10 won't get by. That's just a shame. They're going to limit themselves in terms of who they're able to work with. So I thought that was significant because it just shows sort of one of the themes we've been talking about in class, which is this homogenous mindset that the Christian nationalist movement's developing, to where even other Christians, if they don't align with that worldview, they're wrong, they're the other, they're maybe even like of the devil. So a couple themes I just wanted to highlight from this story is that there was actually a mixed reaction from what happened. So 30% of the membership of Townview Baptist Church left when they saw that the pastor, allowed the same-sex couple in the congregation. And yet many others also sent positive messages on Facebook or emailed him and welcomed the couple in with open arms. So this church that we're talking about with 125 members, so fairly small, it's actually pretty divided. And then the SBC is divided as well. So the leaders of the SBC are the ones that made the decision to kick Jim Conrad and his church out. But there was mixed reactions within it as well. So it's just what we're talking about with Christian nationalism and Southern Baptists in general, even if it's the same denomination and the same religion, there's diverse reactions to this kind of thing. So this is very complicated, and individuals, it's important to evaluate them on their own terms. The second thing I wanted to bring up is the mountain of family. So this just kind of perpetuates some of the themes we were talking about in class on this quote-unquote mountain. Particularly that it's a justifiable decision by the SBC if they maintain that the homosexual agenda is part of a cosmic battle between God and the devil. So this isn't a statement that like the SBC released or anything. I have no idea if that's their line of thinking. However, these decisions are something that are very easily justifiable and don't necessarily contradict the Bible when it says love your neighbor as yourself and love others if it's part of this larger cosmic battle. So it's the fear of the other, the fear of oppression, or the narrative of oppression that sort of allows these decisions to be made, and then for many, many people to agree with them or even root for them. And then finally, I think this is just part of a larger pattern. So the reason I picked this story is it reminded me of some of the other things we've read about or that I've just heard about on my own. So some examples of that are the 2014 Equal Rights Ordinance in Houston. So this was a bill, we read about it in one of the readings, I believe, an early reading, but basically the bill would have allowed or would have done a lot of things for just equal rights, particularly for LGBTQ people in Houston. But Second Baptist Church, of which I went to high school at and attended church for many years there, and a couple other mega churches with hundreds and thousands of people in their congregation spun the bill as that's a threat to our women because now men are going to come into the women's bathrooms. And that was just a misreading of a very particular clause about gender-neutral bathrooms in the bill. Similarly, the church in Knoxville from the NPR podcast. So this podcast was sent out to everyone in an email. And the church that they mentioned in the podcast is very anti-LGBTQ. They don't allow any LGBTQ members. They are very public about that. So these kind of things over and over again are just part of a larger pattern, a larger thread of Christian nationalist thinking, Christian nationalist mindsets, and even the mountain of family idea within Christian nationalism. So that's it. That's my presentation. If you have any questions, please ask me. I'm happy to answer them. And then here's all my sources. Thanks.